أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Welcome to today's class, and thank you for joining on time. Please check your student ID and your room number that you're labeled correctly. Everybody in class, you know what to do. Let's start popping out the points on the screen. Now, these points are very important because you may get asked these questions in the exam room, similar questions, not exactly the same. So it's important that you learn the rules and also learn how to recite them. So I'm going to ask one of the participants to join me and read out some of the examples. Right, so Haris, Assalamu alaikum, beta. Assalamu alaikum, rahmatullah.
Walaikum salam.
How are you, beta Haris?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Thank you for asking. Can I ask you then to, let's just jump into it straight away without wasting time. If you can see at the top here, we have this quote, and I would like you to read it to me.
Okay. We should endeavor that not even a single person remains in our community who is not knowledgeable in the Holy Quran. Hazrat Muslim Maud anhu, Volume 16, pages 438.
Yeah, so there's basically, we should try that we should, work towards an aim that there is not a single person, not one person that remains, unknowledgeable, about the Holy Quran. And Hazrat Muslim wrote that in Anwarul Ulum. That was the book, yeah? Okay, can I better get you to read point number 1? Everybody else in class, in the main class right now, should be writing this down and making notes. Beta, can you start by reading bit number 1?
The Laam-ul is Allah's name. It's called Laam-ul, the majestic Laam.
Majestic Laam, Laam-ul Jalalah. It's important words to remember. Okay, the majestic Laam. And we'll read the examples in a moment. So number 2, please.
It is read as the theme when pressed by maftu madmoom letters, as in Adhan.
Yes, so it's read as tafkhim, meaning thick sound. So what we do when we recite thick sounds, we don't smile, right? Our lips, our upper lips, everything kind of moves, sort of elevates, yeah? We elevate our mouth when we read tafkhim, thick letters. So it's read thickly. And when preceding meaning when maftu or madmoom, meaning fatah and dama, comes before the Laam Jalalah, as in the example shown above, fatah and dama. We'll read the example in a moment, yeah? So maftu or madmoom, it means fatah and dama. Tafkhim means thick. Okay, so here, let's do the example. Would you like to do this example here, Haris?
Yes.
قال
الله نور الله.
Okay, mashallah, beautiful voice. Keep practicing these at home, and thank you so much for joining us. It was wonderful hearing your voice today. I'll ask another participant to join me. And who do we have today who's put their hands up? I mean, obviously, if you've got your hands up, you know how to read this, yeah? Assalamu alaikum, Maryam. Assalamu alaikum. And assalamu alaikum, assalam. And how are you, Maryam?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah, and I'm also much better after hearing your lovely voice. And can I get you to read points 3 and 4 for me, sweetheart?
Dika. However, it is pronounced as Dargeek when the letter before it is Mukar.
I'll help you there. Maksur. Maksur.
Maksur. As in
Tawag and Basmillah.
And
yes, Basmillah.
Basila.
Yeah. So basically, what we're saying here is how it's pronounced as tarqiq when the letter before is maqsoor. So if the letter before the lam jalala has a kasra, maqsoor means a kasra, yeah? So if kasra comes before the name of Allah, we will recite it very, very, lightly. You know, it's light, it's not thick, yeah?
Yes.
So would you like to read this example for me?
Yes, please. Bismillah.
Very nice. Beautifully recited, mashallah. So will you kindly then also read question number, point number 4 for me?
Tika, any other lam in any other words will always be murakkak thin.
Yes, it will be murakkak, it will be thin. So we have to remember these points. That if the name of Allah, we all know this is the name of Allah, this alif, lam, and then another lam, half, yeah? Alif, alif, lam. And then we can see this, Allah, and we say Allah. And we say, when we say azan, Allahu Akbar, we kind of give that elongates and elevates our, lips and read it, Allahu Akbar. And so in the mouth, we say, Sami Allahu liman hamida. So that's because there's a fatah or maybe a dhamma before the name of Allah. This is the name of Allah. Okay, here. This one here. Okay, this is the name of Allah. We all know this. Yeah. It'd be a good idea to also, write the examples in Arabic if you can. And then if the word Allah's name comes and before Allah's name there's a kasra, we read it thinly. Okay, Jazakumullah. Thank you for joining us. So now we will prepare for tilawat. So we should join classes with our heads covered. We should be in full wudu, our hands, our teeth, our clothes should be clean. We should before we join classes, we should prepare for our classes by joining from a laptop. Join at 5:50 on a laptop, not on your phone. You could use a computer or an iPad. You should ensure that you are sitting in a quiet place where there's no noise. Let people know at home that you're joining classes and keep the noise down. There should be no eating or drinking. You should eat before if you like, but you can sip water if you need. Yeah. Make sure even if you're on mute to recite in a loud, clear voice. And you just stay till the end dua and make sure you're reading a few pages of Quran Majid every single day. And you make notes of your Quran reading practice, send it to your teacher for 10 minutes of that and 10 minutes of your student handout, and revise the rules daily. And so then that will prepare you for your end exam and you will learn all the rules. And now I'll pass you on to our main course leader, and she will take over from here. And Jazakumullah from me.
Jazakallah, Mr. Shakil. I'm just going to share my screen.
Okay, yeah, all good to go.
Okay, Jazakallah Hassan. Okay, everyone, so today is Tuesday, so the second day of the week for us. We are in week 13, day 2. Our Hifz Surah is Al-Lahab, and a teacher will recite for us. And you have already done the rules with Mr. Shakil now. If you came at 10 to 6, you know exactly what we will be doing after Tilawat. So let's ask Shahida Nasar Sahiba to recite for us. Surah Al-Lahab, please.
Okay.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. Alhamdulillah. So, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. تبت يدا أبي لهب وتب. ما أغنى عنه ماله وما كسب. سيصلى نارا ذات لهب وامرأته حمالة الحطب في جيدها حبل من مسد.
Jazakumullah, mashallah, beautifully done. I really enjoyed your melody as well. Very nice indeed. Jazakumullah. So we'll hear you, your lovely voice again, inshallah, at the end of the lesson when you will be reading dua for us. Okay, so students, I have underlined lam for you. Every single lam, I hope I haven't missed any. If I have, then I'm sure a teacher will raise her hand and let me know that I've missed a lam. Okay, so I have underlined all the lams for you because today's lesson is about the letter lam, but not any other lam. But I have underlined all the lams for you, so your eyes get used to spotting this letter. Okay, let's have a look at today's lesson. So far, let's have a quick recap. So far, we have learned that that there are two qualities of the letters of the Arabic alphabet. Okay, and those qualities are tafkhim and tarqiq. We said the letters can be tafkhim, meaning when we pronounce them, they sound, tafkhim means thickness and heaviness, and letters with this quality are called mufakham. So for example, letter qaf will be read as tafkhim letter, and it will be known as mufakham letter. So tafkhim is the quality, and the letter with this quality is known as a mufakham letter, meaning elevated. I give the example of R sound because when we pronounce the mufakham letters, let's change the color. When we pronounce the mufakham letters, we don't let the air out fully. We make our mouth rounder, and that's how we can make the thick or heavy sound. Okay. And for tarqiq, we said it means thinness and lightness. And you can achieve this if, so letters with this quality are called muraqqaq. How do we achieve this this sound of tarqiq, of thinness? It's unelevated. We smile when we pronounce these letters. I call them smiley letters. Why? Because we don't make our mouth rounder. When we say these the muraqqaq letters, our lips move to the side and we let the air out. Let's look at the example. Actually, let me look. Yeah. So let's look at the example ba, for example. I'm not going to say ba. I'm going to say ba. I'm smiling when I say ba. Okay, letting the air out, my lips move to the side. I'm going to give you another example, just so you know the difference between the sounds of muraqqaq and mufakham letters. Now, we already know from our previous lessons that letter kha is a mufakham letter. Now, what's the difference between the sound? If I say that with tarqiq, I would say kha. But because it's muraqqaq, the right way would be to say kha. Kha, kha. Okay. You need to listen carefully to your teachers in your breakout rooms so you can distinguish between the sounds, just like when we did the mispronounced letters. Remember, we did 10 most mispronounced letters. We said, and I said that when I was little, I never made any distinguish between these two sounds. I always said da, da. But now we know the difference between the articulation point or where the sound is produced is same. However, the quality is different. This is light and this is thick. So listen to the sound of it. Da, to, da, to. That's the difference. So that's how in your exam, when you recite each letter, when you read it, and if you don't make your mouth rounder, your examiner will know that you perhaps have the knowledge, but you are not able to apply it. And that's why you need your QRS, reading the Holy Quran daily or weekly to apply the rules as you learn every single week. Okay. So again, this is a quick recap of what we've done so far. We said that there are 7 permanently mufakham letters, and here they are. And I hope you've memorized these. So first job for you is to memorize them. Okay, so because you need to know which letters are permanently mufakham. And then you can change the sound. If you were reading this as kha, you're going to say kha. Okay, so memorize them, then you can apply the technique of making the sound correct. Okay, so 7 letters are permanently tafkhim or mufakham letters, and there are 3 letters which are conditionally tafkhim. Okay, which conditionally means that sometimes they have a thin sound and sometimes they have a thick sound. We won't worry about alif because normally it's the case as in alif madya. If the letter before it is a thick sounding letter, alif will naturally be pronounced as a thick letter. And if it is alif madya and the letter before it is a light letter, will naturally make the a sound, okay, light sound. So I'll give you an example here. Qa or kha, ba, ya. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that because this normally happens for alif madya. I won't go into detail of that, but you don't need to worry about alif at all. Naturally, you'll make the right sound for it. The second letter is ra, which is we're going to do tomorrow. And in today's lesson, we are going to talk about lam. Okay, so let's see. So the lam we're going to talk about or learn about is known as Laam-ul Jalalah. Okay, not just any lam, but Laam-ul Jalalah. So what is Laam-ul Jalalah? It is the mushaddad lam. Okay, in the name of Allah, you have this blank lam, and you also have this mushaddad lam. This mushaddad lam is known as Laam-ul Jalalah or majestic lam. Okay, majestic in, if you know Urdu, means azmat. Only this lam can be either thin or thick sounding. No other lam can be thick. Okay, this means that any other word that has lam in it will always be read as tarqiq. Okay, only the lam mushaddad in the name of Allah can be either read as tafkhim or tarqiq. So how do we decide when to read this lam with tafkhim and when to read it as tarqiq? The answer is very simple. You look at the sign or harakat on the letter before it. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so it will be read as the mufakham letter. When the letter before it, remember, the letter before, if this alif has a sign, we'll look at that one because it's blank. We'll have to look at the mutharik letter before it. Okay, mutharik letter before the name of Allah. And the sign has fatha. Therefore, this Laam-ul Jalalah will be read as tafkhim. So if you read this before as Jalalah, Lala. Now then, who can tell me how we're going to read it after knowing the difference between tafkhim? Instead of saying Jalalah, lots of hands are raised. Excellent. Okay, let's ask, how are my Lajna students doing? From room 16, how are my C5 students doing? Come on, guys, it's been more than 3 months and we're still shy a bit. And our youngsters are very keen to take part. Okay, I am going to send a request to someone. You should get a notification.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, Hania from room 12. Beta, would you like to recite this for us and see how you will make this lam a thick sounding letter?
Qalallahu.
Excellent. So you didn't say qalallah, you said lallah. And beautifully done here as well. You know your qaf is our thick sounding letter. Okay, will you do the next example for us as well, please? So stay on the mic. Okay, yeah. So in the next example, we look at the letter before it. If the letter before it carries a dhamma in here, like as you can see here, then this lam will be read as tafkhim. So instead of saying rullah, how will you pronounce Hania beta?
Rullo.
Excellent, excellent, super. Jazakumullah Hania for coming to the mic. Okay. So now we know that if a letter before our Laam-ul Jalalah, which is in the name of Allah, if it has fatha or dhamma, it will be read with tafkhim. And if the letter before it has kasra, then Laam-ul Jalalah will be read as tarqiq. So who can tell us how we will read it? Shall I say Bismillah? Okay, raise your hands if you like to recite this for me. How are our Lajna student has her hand raised, mashallah. Oh, 2 students. Assalamu alaikum.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
जी आपका नाम नहीं लिखा हुआ।
सॉरी, मेरा नाम सादिया है।
सादिया, lovely to speak to you, सादिया साहिबा, कैसी हैं आप?
जी अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, मैं ठीक हूँ।
जी आप हमारी लजना स्टूडेंट्स हैं, सो आप से बेटा तो आप सादिया साहिबा
जी
है। जी सादिया साहिबा, आप हमारे लिए पढ़ देंगी और आप हमें उर्दू में भी एक्सप्लेन कर देंगे ये वाला रूल, जस्ट फॉर द बेनिफिट फॉर द रेस्ट ऑफ योर क्लास।
जी, तो ये है बिस्मिल्लाही, क्योंकि इससे पहले कसरा आ रहा है तो इसलिए हम इसे तरकीक लेटर की तरह पढ़ेंगे।
जज़ाकुमुल्लाह, एक्सीलेंट, वेरी, आप बहुत अच्छा लगा आपकी आवाज सुनकर। And don't hesitate to raise your hands every day. I do look out for my lajna students. मैं क्यों कहती हूँ बार बार लजना students को? Because you are our future teachers. ठीक है, last semester we had 2 students who became our teachers, and that's why I'm very keen to listen to your lovely voices, so I know. Okay, Jazakumullah Sadia Sahiba.
Jazakallah.
Your name has been noted. All right, excellent. So, Laam-ul Jalalah is a Laam-ul Jalalah is a mushaddad lam in the name of Allah. Sometimes it is read with a theme and sometimes with a tarqiq. When the letter before it has fatha or dama, then we will make this a round sound, right? Thick sound. We'll call it a mufakham then. And if the letter before it, remember mutharik letter, right? Because you're looking at the harakat on it. If it has kasra, then it will be read with tarqiq. That's the only thing you know. Now then, here is another word, kullullahu. Now then, can this lam mushaddad be tafkhim? No, because we have already established now that only the mushaddad lam in the name of Allah can be either tafkhim, read as tafkhim or tarqiq. No other, any other lam in any other words will always be murakkak. Okay, so we are only, every time you see the word of Allah, then you need to decide any other lams in any other words will always be tarqiq. Okay, so this is your nice and easy rule. You're going to go in your breakout rooms. You're going to do a lot of practice. The first one will be your in the name of Allah. So you're going to decide whether it's going to be tafkhim or tarqiq. And then you're going to do the practice of any other lam. And then make sure that when you read your ta'awuz and bismillah from now on, you are going to make this tarqiq, because otherwise, I always say this to students, that the moment, as an examiner, the moment a student recites ta'awuz and bismillah, bismillahir rahmanir rahim, how many rules can we tell that a student has learned? Laam-ul Jalalah. You will know that you won't get this one mixed up with your mispronounced letters. This is what we're going to do tomorrow. So that's another rule. Ha is your sharp letter. Yeah. This one we're going to do tomorrow. And here we go. There's your. So many rules we can tell just by within few seconds of your exam. As soon as your exam starts, within few seconds we will learn. Okay. So best of luck. Have a good practice in your breakout rooms and come back to dua. ITQA office, we are now ready to go in our breakout rooms. Jazakumullah.